Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. This is Jordan, and you're watching Apocalypsis.
A time comes when silence is betrayal, even when pressed by the demands of inner truth. Some of us who have already begun to break the silence of the night have found that the calling to speak is often a vocation of agony. We must speak with all the humility that is appropriate to our limited vision, but we must speak.
Humanity is moving in a specific direction. And since Genesis 3, the fall of man, all of human history has been moving towards something that is yet future. This thing is the end of this age and the return of the Lord Jesus. You see at the beginning of Genesis that God walks with man in the cool of the day. Basically what this is showing is that He's able to stand face to face with Adam, or he's able to communicate with him and dwell with him in the same place because he made him in the image of God. But what happens in Genesis 3 is that mankind rebels against God or disobeys the guidelines that he sets. And so this creates separation between God and man as sin enters into the equation. And so from Genesis 3 on, what you see is God working a way of salvation, or God making a way of redemption, so that mankind can be in right relationship with Him again. The way that God did this was that He became a man in Jesus Christ, and He took the punishment upon Himself for sin, or He paid the penalty, He paid the price, and He Himself was the sacrifice in our place. So He took the wrath of God upon Himself, He died, and He rose again. And when He rose again, He broke the power of sin, He broke the power of death, so that mankind could enter into a relationship with God again through Jesus Christ. In Matthew 13:24, Jesus gives the parable of the wheat and the weeds, or sometimes called the parable of the wheat and the tares. And what Jesus describes is that evil and good both exist in the world together at the same time. And they will grow together until the end of the age. Or they will mature or intensify together at the same time, in the same place, until the Lord returns for the harvest. So what this is showing us is that humanity is moving in a specific direction. We're not just going through the same cycle of days, weeks, months, and years, but we're actually moving, or there's a spiritual progression at work.
My name's Javier Hernandez. I'm 28 years old. I found the Lord when I was 22 years old. Or should I say God found me. And I've been walking with the Lord for 6 years. It's been a journey. Coming from a really broken family and a really broken childhood. Some of the tattoos that I have are out of selfish desires, and some of the tattoos that I have are meaning behind it. Some of the tattoos I got were because I used to gang bang, and I was following my older brother's footsteps, which he was a G. And some of my tattoos I got from the street, and the street actually gave me these names. In the hood that I grew up in, people started calling me Hurricane, and I got that tattoo on my arm. And the reason why I got that name was because I used to knock people out. And they said that when I was done fighting, it was like a hurricane. And I got this name because this was my rap group, which was Trey Deep. And me, my brother Cristobal, and my brother Devin all have that tattooed on our arm in the same place, and that was our rap group. We used to rap in Kansas and Texas and Colorado and just a lot of Midwest. After I started walking with the Lord, He had revealed to me the real meaning behind these tattoos, and He told me, He gave me a new name, and He told me that my name was no longer Hurricane, but it was HC. He told me to take the H out of Hurricane and the C out of Hurricane, and my new name would be HC, which stands for His Child. Trey Deep, it's pretty amazing because a lot of people thought this was a 3, a O, and a 1, but it's really a 3 and a D and a P connected together. And the guy that created this tattoo, he was saying that he wanted to be unique so that you would have to ask questions about it. His name was Trouble. And as one day I was serving the table because I used to work at Chili's, and they were like, that looks like a 3D and an R. And immediately God told me that the new thing that He wanted this tattoo to be was 3 days risen. And so I changed and was able to use what I intended bad for me, and what the devil intended bad for me, God used it for good. And now I use these as tools to witness to God. I've got my son's name tattooed right here. This tattoo right here, on the bottom of it, it says "out of time." And that time in my life, I was really, really lost. And I was hustling drugs, and I was very out in the world and in gang banging. And I really felt like I was running out of time. Thanks to the grace of God, He protected me. And I just thank God for everything that He has done in my life. The Lord, still to this day, and He uses these tattoos to minister to people. And the reason why is because so much people of this world, and even in the church, live by sight and not by faith. And sometimes it's so easy for people to get into that judgmental scene. So anytime that people see these tattoos and they're asking me questions, I tell them that God is not interested on the outside, but He's interested in the heart. And it gives me an opportunity to minister to people when they come and ask me questions.
So there's a spiritual progression at work in the earth where evil and good are intensifying together. They're growing together unto the harvest, according to Matthew 13, or unto the return of the Lord. Let this be a template, or let this be the foundation for the rest of these videos, because this is the context. We have to understand that this is what's happening in the earth, and when we understand that, we can understand better the end time events. We can understand better the return of the Lord, because we understand what's at work in the earth, and we understand who we are and what God wants to see in us. In 2 Peter 3, Peter says that you look forward to the day of God and you speed its coming. And so what this tells me is that his attitude wasn't, it'll just work itself out. I don't need to read about the end times. I don't need to concern myself with it. But he's actually saying it's a priority. It's something that's important to God, and it's something that's important to me. And you look forward to it. It's the thing that's set in front of you, and your attention is on it. Your affections are on that thing, and you're moving towards it. I really hope this blessed you. I hope you learned something out of this. Thanks for watching. Peace.